So I want to get all this talk over with, and then on to the next bit of conversation. I want to talk some more about this absolutely fabulous book that we're going to talk about.
Real good, positive book.
So
is it in stores?
Yeah, it is. It's in stores right now. Actually, it's online at Amazon.com.
That's what's up. You need to plug that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to Amazon.com, type in "Passing on the Keys of Life" or either type in author T.E.McCoy.
Okay.
I know I smell some chicken in here. It smell like Popeye's chicken.
No, it's KFC. KFC. All right, KFC. And let's not bring light to it because he's gonna need to plug it necessarily. Okay. All right. Now the title of the book once again is
"Passing on the Keys of Life."
Okay. Now this book, what inspired you again to write this book?
Well, I was inspired by a single mom. I used to always hear about mothers can't raise men. You can raise a boy, but you can't make a boy into a man. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yes, they can. Maybe just somebody told them things that men tell their boys.
Okay,
so
I see.
I wrote what my dad told me how to be a man. And then I realized that it was men that didn't know how to be men, didn't know to tell their boys because they wasn't raised by a man. So I wrote a part in there like, look, if you got a son and you just really don't know what to do, you lost, let me help you out, tell you what my dad told me. And maybe, each one can teach one, try to make these young boys realize that there's more out here in this life than just what you see on the streets and these corners that you get.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting that that we have you here because one of the questions that I had for the crew today was, is it possible to be a good father if you did not have one yourself?
And of course it is. Take what
you said it very matter of fact.
Exactly.
You explain. Explain.
I mean, if you take what you did wrong, take me for instance, I didn't do everything right, and I had a dad. I was going the wrong way 100%, and if it wasn't for the Lord, I probably would have still been the opposite of what I am now,
Yes, sir.
But, if you taught the right way, you raised the right way, you put your kid in church from the beginning, eventually he's going to come back to the way he's supposed to be. If you didn't have a dad, that doesn't make you incapable of being a dad. It just means that you need to go ahead and search your soul and figure out what you want to tell your kid.
Yes, sir.
Inspire him to do more. I heard this young man on TV last week talking about, he couldn't be smart in school because kids called him a nerd. And I'm like, dang, I remember that 20 years ago. He told me the same thing. You couldn't be smart in school, you'd be a nerd or whatever. Them same dudes that told me that are now locked up.
Yeah.
Or they deceased. And I walk around for a living and take pictures. And they wonder, well, how come you doing that? Well, because I went to school and got 2 engineering degrees. It's just like being tough in the street is all right for right now. But what about later when you get 20 and 30, when you get 35, being tough in the street is not cool no more, So, you got to teach a kid, look,
that's real talk.
Walking around and being the toughest man on the block is cool when you're a kid, but it's really not going to get you nowhere, but either dead or in jail. So that's the real reason why I wrote the book, because I'm tired of, our black women talking about we can't find no good men. Our black men sitting in jail at an alarming rate for no reason, and all they want to do is smoke weed all day and drink all day and, don't want to work, think that the world supposed to give them something because they black. No, you supposed to go out and work and get what you want to get. Nobody gave me nothing, and I made it, and you can make it too.
So you're saying basically that it needs to start early.
It needs to start early. When I came home from school, everybody said I had the worst parents on the block. Because my mom was like, no, you can't go outside till you do your homework. And matter of fact, let me check it for you. My old man was like, no, you can't go here. No, you can't hang out till midnight. You need to be home before the street lights come on. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. And they were like, oh, your parents are the meanest people on the block. You can't do nothing. But all them same people now, they either in jail or dead. And I'm the only one that I can say, you know what, I'm glad my parents were that strict. I hated it at the time. But you know what, parents, you gotta say no sometimes, a lot. No, that's what you need to tell them, no.
Yeah, parents gotta start trying to be their kids' friend.
Yeah,
you gotta be their parents first, and then you be their friend.
And you got parents that go out to the club with their kids. For real? Like, who does that? By the time you become a parent, you should be old enough to not be in the club.
She don't.
No, she don't. No, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
You know, if you in the club and your kid is in the same club, there's a problem with that. If you buying your weed from the same person that your kid buying weed from, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's the problem. You really should be old enough now to say, you know what, I think I'm gonna show my kid a better way. I never seen my dad in a club. I never seen my dad drunk. I never seen him, you know, I never seen a man take a day off work. Not even when he was sick. You know, and like I wrote a story in my book, like I was a kid and I didn't want to go to school. And so it was cold and I had to walk a long way and whatnot. And my old man, I told my mom, I was like, I'm sick. My mom was like, oh, my poor baby, and she was just gonna let me stay home. My dad comes in the room a little bit later, he was like, so you sick? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, you can stay home. And he gave me this long list. And I'm like, what's this? And he's like, oh, well, this is a list of what you gotta do today around here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, I gotta work when I'm sick, so you gotta work when you sick. Your job is to go to school and get an education, and my job is to go to work and provide you with shelter and food. So since you can't go to work and do your job and get your education, you can do my job and come home, stay home and clean up the house, cook, clean, and do whatever you want to do. Or you can go to school. It's up to you. Make a choice. I went to school.
That same day?
You know, that same day. I got up with like, man, that list he gave me was a little bit too long. I'd rather go to school, you know?
So that's how I got chicken pox when I was in the 5th grade. Somebody just came like,
I actually know I wasn't even really sick. I was just like, man, I don't want to go. You know what I mean? My mom was like, oh, my poor baby. You know, my dad was like, all right, well, you can stay home for sure. And then when I came home, he still made me do the same long list. You know what I'm saying?
So it was no way.
Yeah, you know, exactly. It's like, you know, you're going to be a man, you got to understand, you know, and like last week, I think I took my first sick day in like, since I've been out of college in 97. I think I took my first sick day last week, and now it hurt me, you know?
That's what's up.
Thank you. Okay, so we having
Lick your fingers. KFC.
we have a real talk right now. Also, this is the birthday weekend for Puppy the Body.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Hold on. I gotta do this right.
Don't put them
You're not
$10
gonna
glasses
do
on.
it.
My gas card glasses.
Wow.
Diamond rush.
These are
And he
Lokes?
only paid $10
Are these is
for
Lokes?
Yeah.
Loken?
Yeah.
Email.
Happy birthday.
You're going to get an email.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate y'all making fun of Stevie Wonder.
Now you're gonna have
The blind.
you're gonna have blind.
We're going to have blind.
That's a pretty good Stevie Wonder. It's not as good as his Rick Ross impersonation, but once
I want to eat
again.
a cupcake.
Do that all night until we're done.
No,
Act
because then he's gonna be stuck. You're not gonna be able to stop.
Act like him.
Once again, your come on, your website, sir.
Oh, you can go to Amazon.com and look up Passing on the Keys of Life, or you can go to my website, T.E.McCoy, and .com. You got the book upside down, huh?
I got my eyes closed.
You got the glasses? So, fool.
Let me see.
Because I want to really be blind like.
Okay.
So you playing the role.
Also, you can check
feel you.
you can check CreateSpace.com.
CreateSpace.com.
And look up hashmark
You gotta see the money.
355.
Alright, go ahead.
You can look up CreateSpace.com/3557160. But it's easy just to go on Amazon.com and get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So
Or if you want a personal autograph one, you can just email me at TEMcCoy56@hotmail.com and I get that to you.
They got an autograph, email.
Nah, I mean, you know, I got some copies. I can just send it out to people like that. You know, love for the fans, you know?
I feel you, bro.
definitely.
Happy birthday.
Is this your first book?
It is my first book, but I have another one coming out, volume 2. It's called Passing on the Keys of Life. That one is called Passing on the Keys of Life, Becoming a Man. It's talking about being a man. And the second one is about what my dad told me about how to treat women.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, so you ain't gonna beat me up tonight?
Nah, I don't believe it.
She likes that though. That's the kind of stuff she likes.
But I mean, you know, I don't believe in punching women in the face.
But you'll choke her.
Okay. Who published the book?
I I did actually.
Self-published.
Exactly.
All right. You
McCoy's
know,
publishing.
you know how you feel about people that self-publish books, buddy.
Well, you know what? I had a publisher, and you just can't work with everybody. They didn't have the work ethic that I had, you know. They didn't really want to put the work behind it, so I had to go ahead and do it myself.
Definitely, and I know how that is. I think it's a great concept. I haven't read the book. I am going to pick up a copy. Passing on the Keys of Life. T.E.McCoy